Now, happening this morning
It's a hungry world
is Real 91.9 FM. Happening now.
with everybody's
Go tell your friends. Today,
to share.
Political Wednesdays, but we got Kenra online. She's going to pray. Good morning, Kenra.
Good morning, Mr. Andre, and good morning to the nation. This morning, Lord, we give you thanks, we give you praise, we glorify your name. We thanking you for waking us up. We thanking you for breath and even for life, because without you we cannot live, without you we cannot die. This morning, blessed Lord, I bring the country before you this morning, Lord. Father, Grenada, Karikupiti, Matnik. Father, the whole world is in your hand this morning, Lord. Pass by each and every one of your children this morning, Lord. Remember the school children I bring before you this hour, blessed Lord. Father, you know they are about to go to school this morning, even those who are going and those who are remaining home. Reach out and touch them this morning, blessed Lord. Educate them for yourself. Give them the brain of retention that they're able to read and write and retain what they read and what they write. The teachers, the principal, I bring each and every one. Pass by the schoolhouse. So wait if thou be so pleased this morning, Lord. The Prime Minister I bring before you. Remember that son, if thou be so pleased. Guide him and protect him, Lord. Pass by home. Each and every one of them are dwelling in that home. Guide them and protect them. Bless them if thou be so pleased. I bring all the other ministers before you, both male and female. They are all in your hand this morning, Lord. Pass by each and every one of them home. All those who are dwelling with them, Lord. Joy you cut it and give them a peep down. Mr. Boston, I bring before you. Remember that son, if thou be so pleased. The home you lend unto him, pass by it, Lord. Remember him in the doors of mercy. Guide him and protect him, Lord. Keep him in the act of safety, even on praying ground this morning, Lord. I bring the entire force before you this morning, blessed Lord. Remember all police and them, pass by all police station. Reach out and touch each and every one of them. Father, guide them, Lord. Father, do for them what they cannot do for themselves. St. Patrick Police Station, I bring before you, Lord. Father, each and every one of them what they in that station, Lord. Father, look over them. Guide them and protect them. Dry you cut in and give them a peep down. Prop them on any bending side. Provide for each and every one of them this hour, Lord. The SSU I bring before you. Father God, when it's day, they cry for night, and when it's night, they cry for day, because Father God, they up and down, morning, noon, and night. All the time, Jesus, they on the road, Lord. Remember them this morning. Pass by every camp this hour, blessed Lord. Bless each and every one of them. Bind them together like one bundle of stick that cannot be broken this hour, blessed Lord. Pass by the camp this hour, Master. Remember the boat on the ocean. Remember the plane in the air this hour, Lord. The fishermen, I beg before you, Lord. Help them to have a catch this hour, Lord. Not forgetting the coast guard on that sea water. Father, outside there is not easy, Lord. But remember them, Jesus. I know you is evil, Lord. There is nothing you cannot do for them. In the going, Lord, you go with them. In the remaining, Lord, cover them under your blood. And when they are about to come back, Lord, bring them back safe and sound. Please, Jesus, if thou be so pleased, my God and my King, remember your children, Lord. We are your sheep in the pasture. You know each and every one of us by our different voices. Rock of ages clear for us, and let we hide ourselves in thee, and let our water run the blood, and by the wound inside it flow. This our blessed Lord. Pass by the sick and afflicted one, those on the hospital bed, and even those in the home this hour, Lord. Reach out and touch it and every one. Remember the Corona members, Lord. I bring them before you this hour, Lord. Pass by the hospital where they lie down, Lord. Look over them this hour, Lord. I bring all the frontline workers before you, here and everywhere this hour, Lord. Reach out and touch each and every one of them, my God and my King. Father God, I'm asking you that favor, Lord, to reach out and touch them this hour, blessed Lord. Father, keep the country safe and sound, my God and my King. Pass by every home this hour, Lord. Reach out and touch them, the mental home this hour, Lord. My God and my King, I bring Mr. Andre before you, Lord, and I lift up that son before you. Remember him this hour, blessed Lord. Bless him if thou be so pleased. The home you lend unto him this hour. Keep it in the act of safety, Lord. Remember his staff I bring before you this hour, Lord. Father God, Even the offspring of his body, I bring them before you this hour, blessed Lord. Father, wheresoever they locate, guide them and protect them, Lord. Keep them in the act of safety and on praying ground. Remember each and every staff this hour, Lord. Remember Brendan, I bring before you. Remember that son and his whole household this hour, blessed Lord. Take him in charge. Bring him safe and sound. Those who are traveling with boss, as I was traveling, mercy for them. Safe arrival this hour, blessed Lord. Pass by that radio station, Lord. Remember the folk and the bungling center, even the chapel, the door, the entering of the gap. Father, the surrounding of the yard, I bring it before you, Lord. Keep it safe night and day. Leave no veins where Satan could enter this hour, blessed Jesus, my God and my King. This morning, Lord, I give you thanks. My village and my people, Lord. Pass by Hermitage, Lord. Remember, my friend, I bring before you. You see and you know and you understand everything this hour, Lord. My God and my King. Not forgetting the pastor I bring before you. You know him by name and you know him by number. His household this hour, Lord. His wife, each and every one of them. My God and my King. As you taught the disciple to say, our Father which art in heaven, holy be thy name, thy kingdom come. There will be the man out as it is in heaven. Give us the days of our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For there is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen and amen. Thank you, Lord.
Amen.
Well, good morning. What say?
You can pray for my wife too.
You tell me last week you don't have wife, and you don't want a wife. Too much problem on you.
All right, my father just tell you what I said.
Papa, when you hear there on that phone, you must behave yourself and hush your mouth. No, you tell me pray for wife.
You hear what my father just tell you there?
I don't hear what he said.
Yeah.
Maybe you what here.
Yeah, the man say what? He say nobody don't want to marry him. What he say? Yeah. Can't
Well,
tell you, Papa, leave you alone on that phone. Why do you? Think it's so? Oh, it's a good thing, you know. Somebody to back me up.
But you don't find it as overdo it.
No.
Well, then
What?
they say when people are on phone, people that are respect.
Yes, he all the respect in the world, but he knows his son attacking it, so he could say what he want.
Okay. Okay, I'm not saying nothing. I don't.
You better done in truth.
I don't.
How this noise this?
Excellent, man. And I forget it, you know.
You forget it?
Hey.
Yeah, what else do you?
Man, I forget the thing.
And you see, it's
but
not...
was not far, you know, same day self.
Okay.
I remember I said no, and you give me something. I had to. It was excellent.
And you see, it's not sweet, eh?
No.
Yeah, and you tasting the... Which one did you get?
I get a sauce up.
You got sauce up. Okay, fine.
It was real.
And the packaging is really nice and thing, you know. Everything is so nice about it. You must tell Dio buy you some now. See?
Yes.
Hey, get that Dio spend your money and buy it too.
Well, I have me money. I could spend me money, you know.
Well, okay.
Dio lo bong to her.
Hope it's not me father money you spend. Hope it's not me father money you spend.
What drinking water in me place there this early morning?
Not me. Who they? People?
Me husband like give somebody. When I walk out walking in this early morning cold water, I don't know this early morning what you drink something inside your heart.
Can you have a nice day?
Bye.
Bye-bye. It's real dynamic radio on a Wednesday. Political Wednesdays, yeah. Tommy Matthew, good morning. Tommy ain't leave home yet.
What you say?
But, yeah, political Wednesdays. Jump Six, where are you?
What you say?
Come on, get your political hats on. Yeah, we talking politics this morning. Straight, raw politics. Irrespective of who you support, let's talk the politics. And be prepared. I'll be asking the questions too. You can't just come and just and me say thank you. Nope. You talk, I can ask questions. I can choose not to ask the questions if you're in talking that I really am truly interested in. But I expect to hear from you, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of who you support. Don't do something try to fly under your radar and say, boy, I don't want people to... Gone are the days and you do something. Me, I don't want nobody to know who I vote for now. Oh, please, come on. Bundle of rubbish. You don't want nobody to know who you vote for, but you're going by the rep next morning after election. Well, now I vote for you, you know. You will take care of me? Forget that.
what you say.
Then come and jump up in the rally.
Okay. You gotta be careful.
When you can't jump up in the rally.
You gotta be careful, careful.
Then come and do that, no? But you want to say, I vote for you. Me and all my children. Children don't even go and vote. Not one to go and vote, but you know, I give you all the thing. Not fret me that. And come and say, well, I don't tell you nobody who are voting for you. That you're saying whole time before election. When thing win now, you're taking side.
I say we
Oh, that's fret me.
to meet the challenges of life without fear. Greed and jealousy, hatred and envy. Man, you have to move with care in that jungle out there. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. How you move when you're moving. Which direction you going. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, careful.
You gotta be careful whatever you do. Even if you're talking to Jerry Tamer, you gotta be careful. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning to you, Andre. How are you doing this morning?
It's only I alone there here, Jerry. The crowd left.
The crowd left.
The crowd left. There are too many of them.
Oh, okay. Well, that could be a good thing. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Tell me.
Okay, Andre. Well, again, a pleasant good morning to you and a special morning to all your listeners. We're looking at the weather for today, Wednesday. Well, down here at Point Celine's conditions are cloudy with some light showers. Winds northeasterly at 14 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 13.5 millibars. Now that's just above normal and of course it's rising. Current temperature 24.8 Celsius. The relative humidity 92%. Yesterday our maximum temperature recorded was 31.4 Celsius. The minimum recorded last night 24.6 Celsius. For the last 24 hours, we had 3.5 millimeters of rainfall, bringing the total for the month thus far to 6 millimeters. Let's now look at the public forecast, and this is valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and the PT Martinique. We can expect conditions to be partly cloudy with a few light showers at first, but becoming generally fair by midday. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles an hour. Seas slight to moderate waves up to 4 feet in open waters. We had a low tide already for the morning at 2:15 this morning. Next, we will have a high tide, but this will be this evening at 6:21. Maximum temperature today should get up to around 30.5 Celsius. We'll have sunset this evening at 5:41. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 3 minutes after 6. So let me just repeat the public forecast. Remember, it's valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Partly cloudy with a few light showers at first, but becoming generally fair by midday. Yes, Andre, so that's all for me. It's back to you.
Well, they come back, we?
They come back?
The crowd come back.
Okay, well, I hope they observing the protocols and everything. Eh?
Why, yeah, they will mask. and a whole bottle of sanitizer finished, so you should know it's a big crowd.
Wow. Wow, well, maybe next thing I have to get a drum for you, man.
A drum with a hose.
Or maybe better yet, run a direct light from Grenada Distillers straight to you.
No, we ain't going quite down there, man. We're making it right here in St. Andrew. You know?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The gentleman, what do you call it? Woodman. That rum?
Okay,
Yeah, man, he makes a brilliant sanitizer.
Okay,
because
okay.
and he doesn't stick to the norm. His sanitizers, so they've got different fragrances.
Oh, okay.
And he's using natural spices, yeah?
Okay.
And to give his sanitizer different fragrances.
Okay.
I'll bring him on one day to talk more about it, but he does a very good, and it's not, whatever he's doing, it is not hard on the hands. Whatever he's doing, yeah,
okay.
It's not hard on the hands, and it smells different. So when you spray, you people feel like you put on perfume. Perfume what? Sanitizer. Anyway, take care, sir, bro.
All the best.
All right, then. One love. Good. Real 91.9, 91.5. www.drealfmgrenada.com. Latouche Appliance Repairs. Coming to you, Drumsticks. Coming to you. Stay there, right there. Okay, let me lock you in. Good morning. Oh, nobody there, but you will call back. Right, Drums. Busheju in St. George's, 444-734-185-629. So Latouche fixes, he's able to fix televisions, fans, microwave, blenders, toasters, washing machines, dryers, vehicle sound system installation. Only new parts are used in all repairs. Kimani Latouche. Kimani, good morning to you. Somebody said, who sent this? Diane Robertson. I decided I'm going to give you some. I hope somebody tell you I gave you free advertisement this morning. 418-5629 or 457-1072. Call Mr. Latouche. Yeah, he's the repairman and he's located at Busheju. I wonder if he does house calls. Yeah, I need to give him a call. So I'm just, come on. Everybody got to help somebody. Come on, that's what you're doing. Good morning. Oh, she's still not there. Thought we were going to have Drumsticks by then. Let me go look for the people's Nawasa program before 7:30. Come on, I have it. And I'll be scrambling to find out the witty Nawasa thing going. Ja Rastafari, Selassie, I and my brethren, sister, I, they here. There's a lot of people. A lot of people, man. Okay, so we've got the Nawasa thingy. Yeah, we've got the Nawasa thingy. All right. Yeah, that coming up in about 4 minutes' time. Yeah. Somebody just send me a message and say that thing again, Andre. Okay, it's Latouche Appliance Repairs. And Latouche is located at Busheju in St. George's. You can WhatsApp him at 418-5629. And he fixes televisions, fans, microwaves, blenders, toasters, washing machines, dryers, vehicle sound system installation. He does that too. Almost everything in relation to electrical appliances he can handle. And he's saying here, his watchword is that only new parts are used in all repairs. Got that. So he's Kimani Latouche and 418-5629. Right? So Diane Roberts sent me that. I guess she just put me on blast and just sent me out thing with everybody else. But I decided, though, you know what? This is my good deed for today. Yeah, bigging up Kimani. So yes, if you need your thing fixed and you can't remember the number, just holler. Drumsticks, oi!
Yes, good morning. And you know what happened to this phone this morning? You know, the phone just go dead, and I can't get people to walk. My God. But I say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Mm-hmm.
I like you. I love you. That is enough, That is enough for the morning Drumstick. But I know you got something else. Tell us, love.
Good morning to you. Good morning to the nation. A reading from the Word of God, Psalm 67. God be merciful unto us, and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us, that thy ways may be known upon the earth, and to save health among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O Lord. God, let all the people praise thee. This is the end of the scripture reading.
Oh, thank you, my love. And how are you today, though?
I'm good.
How's the children doing?
Yeah, everybody's all right.
Everybody's all right. What are you planning to do today?
Well, I can't say yet because rain coming and...
Rain?
Yes, rain since when I got up this morning, I still said wet. And I know it drizzling still.
Don't your sun splitting up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
I plan to finish clean my flower garden. I was cleaning my flower garden all day and I got a cut on my finger, so I didn't work yesterday. I see today I'll try to finish the rest.
You have gloves?
I have a glove.
Okay, make sure you put on the gloves. You don't want that finger to get infected.
No, that's all.
We're still waiting on the drumstick. Christmas is coming.
It's a good thing I come up with one drumstick alone. One.
Oh, God.
One drumstick alone. Yeah. Well, I did trying. Today is Political Wednesday, so I go in and see if I get all my political friends to call in this morning. I want to hear what they're going to say.
Well, I'm going to sit down and listen.
Yeah.
Well, have a nice day.
You too, my love.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. Political Wednesdays. Yeah. What's the time? 7:30. That's it.
The mobile app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. With the new Nawasa mobile app, your entire access to your Nawasa account is at your reach. Instantly mobile, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Easy access by phone or on your computer, mobile.nawasa.gd offers a secure login platform through the touch of a button. Get access to all your account insights including overdue amounts, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Water Wise, a production of the National Water and Sewerage Authority, Nawasa. I am Wendy Chateau. Since the launch of our app on October 26th, the response from users has been tremendous. Customers have been expressing excitement at being able to get quick, easy, and secure access to their accounts anytime, anywhere. While there have been some teething problems, the Nawasa team, together with the developers, are working steadfastly behind the scenes to have all issues resolved. The app allows easy access by customers to their accounts via all electronic devices, be it computers, tablets, or mobile phones, Android or iOS. You simply go to your web browser and type in mobile.nawasa.gd, where you are guaranteed a secure login, the ability to sign up to view current bill and bill history up to a 6-month period, view overdue amounts, report faults, access information on places where bills can be paid, Nawasa contact information, or register multiple tenant accounts in the case of landlords and property managers. Whether you are on the road or in the comfort of your home, go to mobile.nawasa.gd and log in to check your balance. The app was developed in support of customers' access to their accounts and in response to numerous calls for easier access to information. We encourage you to try the app and share your experience with us. We look forward to receiving your feedback so we can continue working to improve your experience. Available 24/7 at your convenience, getting you the support you need much faster. Mobile.nawasa.gd is your new customer support companion. We also take the opportunity this morning to remind you of the importance of always having personal safe storage for use in cases of interrupted supply. Clean water is essential to safeguarding health, and even more so now with the COVID-19 pandemic, which requires increased sanitation and sanitization. Being mindful of that need, we therefore encourage you to make having storage a priority, as unfortunately Nawasa does not have total control over the conditions necessary for a safe supply of drinking water. It is therefore necessary for consumers to ensure they have water stored for at least a 3-day period, representing 35 gallons per person per day, taking into consideration the needs of your family and pets. Water supply can be affected by many factors, including broken mains and pipes. It is why we continually advocate that consumers collect and store at least a 3-day supply of 35 gallons per person per day in clean, covered containers for use in instances of interruption, which can sometimes happen without notice and for extended periods. Ensure your family is prepared at all times by making storage a priority. Remember, storage improves availability when water is not accessible. And that brings us to the end of Water Wise for today. On behalf of the entire team at Nawasa, I am Wendy Chateau, wishing you a fantastic day.
The mobile app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. With the new Nawasa mobile app, your entire access to your Nawasa account is at your reach. Instantly mobile, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Easy access by phone or on your computer, mobile.nawasa.gd offers a secure login platform through the touch of a button. Get access to all your account insights including overdue amounts, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion.
Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk? Where you go? Where you walk? What you say? When you talk?
It's a hungry world out there, with everybody scrambling to get a share. Wolves in sheep clothing.
Wolves in sheep's clothing. I got two persons on the line, so I'm going to take... No, hold you. Let me take you first. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes?
Why did you take me first?
Clifford, I answered your call first. I didn't take you first, Clifford. Don't get
That's
ideas.
what you say. You said
No,
you
no,
take me first.
no. I answered your call.
Okay, well, you had said wrong. Good morning to the listeners. Can you give me, first of all,
No.
Huh?
No.
Well, you know what I'm asking you for?
I tell you no already, so you know. Don't ask.
The other fella, during the revolution,
Eh,
the people see him, the MPRA see him, they say, boy, that man could never reach home before the time. You know, they take him and they lock him up, you know.
it
Long
just-
before the time.
well, at least they know you can't reach him. What you want now? Tell me what did you want?
You just talk about a gentleman, Latouche. Could you give me the number?
Oh, the Latouche guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody sent it to me and I just decided, you know what? Let me just help him out. Now, what do you think?
Yeah,
Yes.
because I
Everybody needs to help somebody, man. Let me see if I can find that number again. Who sent it? Oh, yeah, Dan sent it. The number is 418
418
5629 629 9.
9.
And tell him you heard about it right here.
Yeah, and what is LATS?
Latouche.
L
Latouche. Latouche. CHE. Latouche. Yeah, Kimani Latouche. So just tell him you heard it right here, and he knows he didn't pay for an advertisement. So this is just how Real FM deals with people.
Okay.
All
now,
right.
you said you're speaking
Politics.
this morning.
Yeah.
And I would like to speak some politics.
Well, but I have somebody online. You want me to call me back? Because I have
Yeah,
somebody
I'll call you back.
Yeah, call me back. Go and handle your business and call me back, bro.
All right.
All right, good. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I wonder how many people know that sound or that kind of a melody. What is it associated with? Stanley, good morning.
Good morning, mate.
How you doing?
I don't know what's happening where you are, but in Grenada, it's raining cats and dogs.
No, us here in St. Patrick, it's not raining. You guys in Grenada, take the rain.
Well, it's raining. When I came from my walk this morning, I got wet 3 times. I had to stop in the car twice,
Stanley?
and then by Marketing Board, and then by Cooperative Bank, and then at the top of Market Hill.
You have me puzzled, Stanley.
Yeah.
You said when you came from doing your walk, you got wet 3 times. Now,
Yeah.
based on the English language, when you would have come from doing your walk, you should be inside your house.
No, well, I'm walking on my way to my home.
No. You said when you came from doing your walk.
Well, if you want to be specific, go right ahead. I'm not
I'm just
splitting
trying.
hairs.
I'm not either. I'm just trying to find out. I'm just trying to make sure I stay with you. You said you're an
being
Englishman.
pedantic. I'm not bothering with you.
You said you're an Englishman, didn't you?
I am not an Englishman. No, I'm a reject.
The Englishman rejected. The white man kick you out.
Yes. They don't want me there. I'm not the kind of people they would like to have, so they dump me.
Do you think I'd survive in England, Stanley?
Well, I think anybody can these days.
No. Back then, do you think I would have survived?
Yeah, well, yes, of course. Once you have intelligence, you survive. I mean, have you noticed when you go abroad how these young kids drag the parents either to the chocolate or where the toy section is?
Yeah.
Well, the kids look at the signs. They may not be able to read yet, not fluently, but they know the signs and they know where the chocolates are. So they go straight to the chocolate bar and start eating. The parents are embarrassed because they have to pay for chocolates.
Yeah.
And
Stan, do you know that I saw an ad, just as you speak about kids pulling people to chocolate, I saw an advert where they were advertising a particular item.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this child, just as you spoke, took his dad to the stand where there were chocolates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the dad said, no chocolates today.
Mm.
And the child went off on a limb, Stanley. He embarrassed the father. And everybody's around and they're looking at the father and the father is embarrassed. And Stanley, what do you believe that they were advertising?
Nappies or tissues?
No.
What was it?
They're advertising condoms.
I was going to say
because Stanley, at the end of it all came, use a condom. I'm like, no, they did not. Yeah.
No. You see, that's what we lack in Grenada. This creativity, these people in the advertising industry, they're the best at the propagandists out because you don't know it's propaganda until it hits you.
Until it hits you. Because I'm wondering, okay, fine, what is this gonna say? And then it says, use a condom.
Yes.
Because if he did, he wouldn't have had that child giving him all the problems, would he?
Exactly. He little devil where it belongs. Yes. Now it's fascinating how you sell a product and what you will use to sell the product.
Speaking of selling products, Stanley, in politics, in politics.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Yeah, one has to sell a product. Do you think that the New National Party has been good at selling their product over the years?
They didn't have to sell a product. No, that is the difference. I didn't know I was coming and talk politics, I'm afraid of politics. No, I think that, look, as somebody who's been around Grenada since Dr. Mitchell came to office or came into politics, he sold himself. And those days, we didn't have the media we have now. And I remember he used to be in Grenville every Saturday. And what he used to do. And I used to point out exactly what you're saying, that he is selling himself and the way he's doing it. So I don't think the NNP is him. And I think you have to recognize that. And therefore, he came with a new brand of politics in Grenada. And it worked for him. So I don't think the NNP had to sell itself. And this is perhaps a problem as we go forward. The NNP will have. What part of it you're going to market? Because the brand is Dr. Keith Mitchell. And then I give you the reference. Your pal, when they had the A team. And I think that is a classic piece of Grenadian political history. They thought they had it made with the A team, and he ditched them. And that's politics. That's what I call the body politic. But let's not talk politics, it's only money.
No, Stanley, you agreed you were going to talk anything. Remember, I asked you, and you said anything. So I'm going to ask the same question. Really, the Congress, what do you think?
Well, what I think, obviously, they were in some shambles. Didn't didn't quite know what they want to do, didn't quite know. If you're going to get rid of a leader resigns for whatever reason. What they tell you is never the truth when a leader resigns. Then it took so long to get one, and now you have one. So yes, they are a product that they do need to sell and can sell and have to sell. There's a completely difference. You know that when you have a new product in the shop, they tell you get 5% extra or 10% extra or whatever. It's the same product. You change the box, change the color, and then promote it like mad. Again, advertising is a great thing if you have the right people. You could sell almost anything. And what they have going for them that the NNP wouldn't have is they can say, well, look, we are new and you need to give us some space. Please give us some space. The NNP call you and say, well, can we have some space? You say, well, how much space you have? You have the space. You start saying to them, no, I don't want you. You're boring. Right? Whereas the other guy say, no, we're fresh and we have something new to say until they come into the studio. And then you'll find out indeed whether they have anything new to say. But Grenada politics is kind of weird in terms that they don't fight on issues. Like, I'm surprised. My son sent me this thing this month, and I say, what's he telling me? It seems as though the Caribbean have something about learning, and it's going to be live today, so most likely he wants me to look at it. And I say, well, I'm not interested in that. This is just broad rubbish talk. I mean, they're not talking about STEM. At least he doesn't highlight it. So why would I look? But I have to look. I'll try to get some information because I know he's going to call me and sort of do an interrogation of, well, did you see it and what do you think? And so in terms of Grenadian politics, they don't pick issues. And for me, so you have to pick issues that appeal to me. I think Grenada is in desperate need of a safety net. And COVID-19 proved that to us. We needed a safety net. I don't know about you in the bush, but here in the city, we have lots of people who, where I am, just next door to me, they come for food every day. And then they're so lucky, boy. On a Fridays, they get big bags of basmati rice. And I say, well, look at that. I bet if I go and ask them, they wouldn't give me. So I think we need a safety net. And I think if the government want to and focus itself, it could provide a safety net because there are things that people get. And you put that all in one package and we have a safety net. Because if you are in where we are, you are in Sotez, and you were working in the hotels and the hotels had to close, obviously, you would need a safety net. We haven't got soup kitchen. Well, yeah, I was going to say we didn't have soup. We haven't got soup kitchens. But the nuns by me run a soup kitchen.
Yeah, but they're very few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very few. But we need these things, and then we need also not to be ashamed, not to be embarrassed. Because the crazy thing by me is you hear these people every day arguing with each other because some of them collect the food and then they sell it for a ball. Now, me being stupid, I didn't know what a ball is, but I know now. So they come and collect their food and do whatever they want with it. And then there's some by me, oh, I'm doing a video on that soon. And there is no, I shouldn't say that, upset people this early morning. There's a bin by me, and it's used for everything under the sun, including a changing room. That some of these guys come, find the clothes in the bin, take out the clothes they have, throw it down on the ground, and put on clothes, and they're ready to go. But the one I love, Andre, is the one who comes about 2 o'clock every morning. When he comes, I get up. He and his dog. The dog goes to the top of the bin. He's at the bottom collecting the food. So he puts out one set for the dog and one set for him. They sit there, eat, and then they go their way. I say, boy, this is a good life.
Stanley.
Yes, sir.
Somebody just sent you.
Did you not ask me?
Somebody just sent you a message.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get because you're not a Catholic.
No, man, I think they give it to everybody.
I don't know. I'm just telling you. But the interesting thing is, Stanley, I'm talking to you, and the person said you're not a Catholic, and you're right next to the church, aren't you? I wonder if that person knows where you're living. That person probably knows where you're living.
Well, yeah, but I'm not hiding. I live in a house with no windows, but I have lots of guanas. I think I'll have to start selling, boy, because they're getting aggressive and eating things that I think belongs to me. And then they're just looking at me. They're kind of lazy fellas. It takes a long time for them to move. unless I move. But they just stay there and look at me. And I say, oh, by the way, we had tourists yesterday. And I say, well, maybe I should get the iguanas, put a little chain around their neck, sit in front of the door and say $5 a time. Take my picture, please.
No, you can just get them and say, hey, I grow iguanas in the city here, and give them a fancy story, Stanley, about the iguanas and how they came and how you went to the bushes and you asked them to follow you down, and they came down here because you told them that they were going to have nice food in the middle of the city and stuff like that. They buy that.
Why not? Why not? It's creative.
They'll buy that. They'll buy that.
It's creative.
Stanley, are you paying attention to what's happening politically? Honestly, I mean, let's cut all the crap.
No, somebody sent me a thing this morning. I haven't viewed it yet. It says GBN, so it's
okay.
It must have been a program they did Monday, but it's the headline one. It sent it for me, and I said, look, I'm going to look at it later in the day because I expect I'm being asked to comment on it. So let me look at it and see what I think. But I think in Grenada, look, too much emphasis is put on politics. The emphasis on Grenada will have to be, how do we rebuild Grenada continuously? What do we do about our economy? How do we grow agriculture? I mean, we can't feed ourselves. We have to be able to feed ourselves. And we have to, which is controversial what I say, close down the Ministry of Agriculture. Just let people do what they have to do. They could do it. And do like they do in other countries. When you want an economist, just agronomist, just go in a shop and hire the agronomist. Why should you work for government, have a secure job, have a pension, and you don't do nothing? Let's go to the private sector. And I don't hide that. I think we need more private sector enterprise and trim down the government and save the money to help the people. You didn't expect me to say that, did you?
No, I didn't expect you to say that at all. And I'm gonna ask pointed questions this morning of you. As long as you're bold to say things like that, I'm gonna ask you, what happens with TGM now? They seem to have gone into a shell or something, or they just disappeared. Or that's what you expected.
From what I read, well, I think that really there was a non-starter to begin with because of how Grenada is structured. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean they are dead. But perhaps they have overestimated how the people in the country would react to them, and they are stillborn. So because a woman's child is stillborn doesn't mean she can't have another child. But let's wait and see. Because to run a political party in Grenada or anywhere else is an expensive business, and therefore you need to have deep pockets. And then there's no guarantee that you may even win one seat. So you have to look at it that, look, I may be in the coal for 5 years. How do I run this business with no money? Where would I get money from? And whatever. So but it appears that they have received serious setbacks which no one within their structure had predicted. But again, I think if you followed what was taking place in Grenada and what is taking place in Grenada, Grenada is a country that doesn't appear to be able to cope with more than two parties. Despite there's nothing stopping you from having several. But what everybody wants is the crown. And how it works in other countries, you have the various institutions that really props up the system. And then you have unofficial, whether it's two or one party, and they have money, they have income to keep them going. As we try and rebuild Grenada and take it forward, these are the things we have to look at. Soon we are going to be talking about independence. And you have to stop and say, well, what does independence mean? If they say we're not going to have a river in 2060, what can we do to stop that? If they say that Sauteurs would be under the water in 50 years, what can we do to stop that? And we have the brains. We have the people here. It is just a matter of unleashing them. I am surprised. I was tracking down this thing on the Caribbean Scientific Foundation, and I said, well, that exists. So I looked at the different people, and then I was shocked. I saw a Grenadian girl on it. I said, but how come nobody's ever said anything? You know how long I've been searching on these things, and I know what's happening in Africa because, again, it relates to STEM. And I said, look, TMRSU Community College have a robotic club. I know about them. So I was tracking down these things, only to find out, oh, if this girl got to go, because it was in Barbados, to the Science Foundation, and most of them end up in the major universities around the world, including MIT. I said, but how come we don't know nothing about this girl or girls? And you know, this emphasis on promoting girls. In my next life, I'm coming back like a woman because they have everything going for them. Now, so I think that why are we not promoting our people in STEM and our women in STEM? Because again, I think it's rather sad that every little girl you see have a degree and they're going for a doctorate and they're going to university and the boy's talking nonsense. How does that happen? So I think that, you know, I make it quite clear, since I have gay friends, I'm going to be a woman in my next life.
Stanley?
Yeah, you chewing me up?
you really killing me this morning. Yeah, Stanley, we talk about STEM,
Mm-hmm.
and for those who don't really know what STEM is, and not realizing that STEM has to do with education, and it basically stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what it stands
that's the
for.
key foundation in life. If you can't do maths, you can't survive. Everything is mathematical. Everything.
Yeah.
And you have children in Grenada who say, "Oh, it's so hard." No, it's not hard. That is your life, and you need to study math.
But Stanley, I'm always convinced that when you hear children say to you that mathematics is hard, then you need to look at the teacher.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Because what you find is that you'll find a brilliant chap or brilliant young lady would go to secondary, go through the system, and that one is an exceptional one. Goes through the system and would then go on to National College, TAMCC, and that youngster is brilliant and gets very good grades and decides, okay, fine, before I go off to do anything else, I'm going to spend 2-3 years teaching.
Yes,
and
that's a tradition.
And they get into teaching, and Stanley, that child does not know to begin with how to teach. And that is a serious thing, Stanley, outside of the fact that the child or the person, whatever, knows the subject matter, does not mean that that individual is qualified to transmit the subject matter so that others can understand it. And most of the time, that is why you find children not liking a particular subject. A child may come and tell you that art is difficult, and that is because the art teacher, qualified though he or she is, never was qualified to impart the knowledge of art to another individual. And I believe that is our problem, and we need to really, I believe that we are making strides to do that, but we need to make those strides faster.
We have to do this thing rapidly. I've been following the STEM thing, and when you see little 2-year-old children doing science, and in Grenada here they tell you when you're in Form 3, I say, well, how does that make sense? These young kids, I have a friend, and he's got a 2-year-old granddaughter, and he's amazed that once you switch the phone on for her, she works the phone. She knows everything what to do, and this is a 2-year-old child. So here, and he says to me, also in the daycare, the child is learning STEM. I say, really? So I went looking. Once he told me that, I went look, and I seen them in South Africa doing STEM. I've seen in Uganda they're doing STEM. I checked Grenada, and it's all grown people doing STEM. I said, what nonsense? Not Grenada. OECS. I checked the OECS. Then I did CARICOM. But I must say, to be fair to CARICOM, it seems as though the Trinidadians are actively involved, not at a young age, but they're actively involved. And I think STEM is critical. If you want to take the seawater and turn it into drinking water, desalination as they call it.
Desalinization.
Desalination, yeah. You need to have a level of intelligence to be able to convert that, or else you can't. And what I think we have to recognize is our country will be driven forward by intelligence. And I have always pushed intelligence because although people don't like me saying it, I'm retarded, my brain is slightly dead, and therefore I'm not as smart as I ought to be. But look how well that I've done, from my point of view, I've done well. So I would like other people to have the opportunity to have a decent education and to be able to elevate themselves in a position that they enjoy, and that you do by intelligence. And so I'm happy to speak all the time about it. As you know, I am retarded and I am dyslexic.
Stanley, but you see, while we talk all of this, it may seem to some people that, okay, fine, they're only talking this STEM thing all the time. Not realizing it's our way of trying to get the people educated in a particular field, trying to get them to understand. Because while a lot of us, or a lot of our people in Grenada do not understand and they're probably hearing STEM for the first time from you and Andre. And there are two Stanley teachers. If you ask them, what is the definition of STEM? They will not.
Are you saying there are people who don't know, teachers?
Of course.
Well, I can't agree with you.
Yeah, you could stutter.
That is shocking because they all know physics. They know chemistry. They know maths. They know them all. So they should know what STEM is.
Stanley, I am telling you that is not necessarily the case. They are teachers. You walk up to them and say, what is STEM? And they probably describe for you the stem of a tree.
Well, whenever I said it on your program, you always kick me off. There is a report about Grenada, and what you're saying, they have highlighted that ages ago, that the presence in the classroom is weak. They use fancy language because obviously they're not Grenadian and don't want to upset the Grenadians. But a long time ago, most of these teachers, we ought to have sent them back to university or whatever we do. But they shouldn't be teaching people's children because they're not able to pass on knowledge, as you're saying, because they have not been trained. And if you're looking,
I started off by saying that, didn't I?
Yes, and that is critical, and there is reports on that. You can find it on the net. That's how I found it. So Grenada really is in a state. That's why I'm saying, forget the politics. Talk about the issues that if you now have a child who is going to a daycare, you have to see that child is studying science. So by the time the child gets to the secondary school, that child is advanced and know, you know what? I am going to be a civil engineer. I am going to be a chemical engineer. I am going to be a scientist. I'm going to be that. They know that because they've been studying STEM for a long while. It comes easy to them. The same way they fool us when they're looking at the laptop and we come and they just flip it without us knowing and say, oh, I'm not doing anything. But we know they're doing more than something because they now have all these tools. But it's to make use of the tools and for the tools to bring us money to develop our economy. That's what the game is about. The game is about how do you develop St. Patrick's to the level of St. George's, which is Grenada, where everything is done. We need is intelligence that will get us there. We have a chocolate factory in Diamond, not so?
Yes,
and you have a friend in the close area who's also making chocolates. All right, well, what else are we going to do? And they're doing dark chocolate. When are we going to start doing chocolate with milk? When are we going to start having livestock the way we used to have livestock? When are we going to do these things? This is what will take us forward, not just talk.
Stanley, but I must give this to Anthony Boswin. When I met, one of the first things I got from him, and I don't even know what the heck I did with it, he'd probably kill me, but he gave me a copy of St. Patrick's, the plans in 10 years. It's just that I don't know if he didn't get the time or he was too busy taking care of other needs of the people, so therefore he didn't get the time. But he never really got it done. But when you see those plans and what he perceived with a thriving port and everything like that, because we almost got to the port. You know, that too in itself is another story. The amount of Chinese rum I had to drink at the Chinese place at the national, when they were building the national stadium, the amount of rum I had to drink to get that port, and then Tillman Thomas saying that the port is too big for St. Patrick's. I was like, if you know I want to kill it. I almost became an alcoholic just to get that goddamn port. Kenny Lalsin too, you know, had to, and the Chinese, you know, they take pleasure in drunking you, yeah? They do. So every time you think, Campe, oh my God, you have to do so and go bottoms up, yeah? And the amount of rum that I drank for that port, and to hear a politician say, oh, that's too big for St. Patrick's. Oh my God, Stanley, we would have gotten the goddamn thing, man. Come on. I get upset.
Really, St. Patrick's really need a port, because the Carriacou Osprey and the rest, they can come into Carriacou 2-3 times a week and come to St. George's if they want, once or twice. And not only that, we can have the big buses, those that are called coasters, that take you up direct, no stop, from Soteres to St. George's, and you do the same time. So nobody's running late or whatever, but you have to develop the whole part of the country. In Soteres, as you know, I used to hang around there. What do you call the place? Union.
Yeah.
Why can't the guys who go out there looking for the fish have a little drone, fly the drone over the sea so they know where the fishes are when they're ready to go and catch them, rather than somebody climbing up a tree and looking and saying, yeah, we think so, and you go there and it's not there or whatever. Look, we have to bring the science. It's all STEM. You have to know the depth the fish is traveling at, why it's there, how long it's going to be there, when the temperature of the sea change, what level it's at. And there's big money in the sea. When they're talking about blue economy, are we in this, or they're just talking about it? We have the blue and they have the economy.
Next question.
I thought I was supposed to go at 8. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to go, you can go.
No,
I'm not going to keep
me the
you.
question and then I'll go. I don't want to be rude, because after all, one of your audience is responsible for me being on, because said to you they like me being on and they think you have to give me more time.
Yeah.
So I can't be that blunt.
Why would NNP win the next elections?
Well, I could easily say, why would they not win the election?
I asked you a question.
I think they will have a challenge, because...
I didn't ask you if they're going to have a challenge. I asked you why are they going to win.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. Repeat
I asked
that.
the question. The question is, Stanley, and stick to the question for me, please. Why would NNP win the next elections?
Well, in Caribbean terms, they are the incumbent and therefore hold all the aces. But however, remember Soca Boca. We don't know anything until it really starts how people think, because Grenadians don't genuinely tell you their opinion. An opinion tends to, in any political time, tend to swing. So you wait. It's far too early to back any horses in the race. It's time to observe, but obviously the incumbent is favorite. Not just favorite, odds-on favorite. But you wait to see.
Why are you saying odds-on favorite? What gives you that impression?
Well, if you have 15 seats, or how many seats you have all the seats, you're in office, you control all the systems, then it's not unlikely that the system works for you.
Are you there?
Yes. What do you want me to?
No.
I
didn't realize you'd come to stop.
No, but it is a given. If some woman down the road by you is selling fish and I come to join to sell the same fish, she would have a line of people that are regular customers, and they would prefer to deal with her than deal with me. We selling the same fish. In Grenada, most of the political parties have the same policies. So then you depend, as they all do, on personalities.
When you look at the political landscape and you look at all the different constituencies, do you see the NNP having a serious challenge in a particular constituency? If so, why and where?
No. I can't say I've been following things that close to talk about constituency. Remember, and this is not this is factual. Grenada's politics is run on the leader. The others are coat hangers, as the Americans call them. So you have to read this thing and what people see of Dr. Mitchell and where he's going next. It have nothing to do with the other people. They don't count. They are coat hangers. And that's fact. You've seen it in America because they have a presidential system. The president carries a number of people with him, which is what they need to control the system. We have a different system, but it works like a presidential system, whereby we are governed by the prime minister. And so if you like the prime minister, Uncle Gary have told us that, if I put up a crop where you'll vote for him, that's who we are. It's going to take time for us to change. That's why we're talking about STEM. If we had STEM, you wouldn't be asking me that question.
Okay. Here's a nice one.
And
I'm going to put three political leaders
oh God,
up on a fence, and I'm going to ask you to shoot down two. The one that stays is the one that runs the country. So you have up there, you have Keith Mitchell, you have Deacon Mitchell, and you have Patrick Antoine. Shoot down two.
No. I think that is grossly unfair.
Yeah, I know it is. That's why I asked you the question.
Patrick Antoine is a non-starter.
Okay.
Deacon Mitchell is very new, and it'd be unfair to kill him even before he says a word. No. I think you have to give him the opportunity to show his presence and stamp his authority on the party he has inherited before trying to kill him off. Obviously, if it was a horse race, you'd say, well, look, he doesn't stand a chance. He hasn't won any race. He's new. We know his his background, and we think he can run well, but we don't know. Therefore, we have to be hesitant about betting on a horse that is untried. I hope this answers your question.
But what you've said is almost what Peter Wickham said about a week or two ago, because he said, Stanley, and he chose his words very carefully, that the NDC on selecting their new leader, it's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
However, he does not see them winning this election.
They're in this for the next election.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He said they should be in this for the next election, and that is when the battle is going to be. He said this election is not necessarily going to be a battle. Yes, they will do so, and they will make their impact. They will shake. But
this election is a dress rehearsal.
Okay.
No, but I think that is obvious. I mean, this election is a dress rehearsal, but anything can happen in a dress rehearsal. But it is a dress rehearsal. That's why earlier it said, for 5 years, you're going to be in the cold. You need to have money to run the system.
Okay. Stanley Charles, nice talking to you this morning. Do I get you again next Wednesday morning?
Well, it appears I don't have any choice, but I don't get any mangoes. I don't get any fruits. I had to buy some sour, what do you call the thing? Sour oranges. So if I'm going to be popping up regularly, you have to tell the audience, they don't have to pay me, but they have to give me fruits.
So how do they get it to you?
Yeah?
How do they get the fruits to you?
Well, you're the man who knows all the different things, or do I know? I mean, think of it. You have me publicly begging for food. I'm off.
Oh, Stanley, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Okay.
Any word on the media in Grenada before you go? You usually have a word for them. Any word for them this morning?
No, already. What I think is, and that's pushing me a bit, I think that the media need to be convincing the public, enlightening the public of the new norm in terms of COVID and all its variant is going to be with us indefinitely. Help us to behave differently. Help us to accept what is and not moan and groan. And be safe at the same time. It's now when the supermarket I go to, which is, well, I go to both of them, but the one I like is Food Fair. And when I went there yesterday, they've changed the system. They have an automatic sanitizer, and also it takes your temperature. So I walked in and I stretched my hand out for the security guard. He says, no, he pointed me over. And I went, pushed my hands under the thing, because they have them in other places. So here, the supermarkets have recognized, look, this is with us forever. We're not going to pay a security guard. Let's buy a machine, stick it in there, and everybody knows what to do. The book is there, just put your name inside there, get the temperature. The security guard doesn't have to do it for you and blah, blah. So we have to recognize there is a new order, and the media can help us to embrace that and move on rather than moaning. We love to moan and groan too much.
There's a new one, Stanley, where you walk in, you do not see it. But well, it's there, but what happens is that when you walk in, it scans your face, it takes your temperature, and it sanitizes you. So it's not just your hands. That spray thing comes on your entire body. It doesn't wet your clothes per se, but that mist just comes on your entire body, and it takes your picture, takes your temperature. If your temperature is too high, there is an alarm. And
I was a victim of that, so I know about the alarm.
Yeah, there's an alarm, and somebody steps to you, and you will not be allowed to shop.
But I know how to beat it, because what happened is I walked under the tunnel, and maybe, usually 100 miles an hour, and then I went into the place, and the security guard politely said to me, sir, can you come outside, please? Which I did. He was very nice, and says to me, your temperature is 90 so much and whatever, and it's too high. Can you stay outside for a moment or two? I tell him yes. So the next time I went back, I said, slow down, boy. I know how this thing works. So I think it's just a matter of informing us and embrace it. Even like now, we should be preparing. We're going to have carnival. Let's have carnival, but let's learn that there is a way we're going to have to behave. It's the new norm. Let's not wait anymore. I don't know if you ever, yes, you have a daughter. And maybe you walked into a room accidentally.
No.
Women don't wear panties anymore. No?
That ain't happening, Stanley. You could never walk into a room accidentally. She locks the door. And she learned that from a very early age.
I'm telling you, these are new norms, and we just have to accept the new norms.
Yeah, she locks the door and says, "You have to knock." She'll open as soon as you knock. She'll open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have their privacy. All right.
All right.
So we have an arrangement for next week. I will do that to please your audience.
From next week, we on again. Great. That's wonderful. Stanley, I had to tell you this. Do you know that there is no you don't have to quarantine anymore once you're vaccinated?
I wasn't aware of that.
Yesterday it was announced that and it is a fact that if you let me just read it off the thing here for you, and so you can get an idea of exactly what it says. Who sent it to me this morning? And did I send it to anybody? I think I did. Yes, I think I did send. Okay, fine. Effective Monday the 15th of November, 48-hour quarantine removed for 4 fully vaccinated passengers entering Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. But they have to have a negative PCR test, which would have been administered no more than 72 hours, before travel.
And it takes less than 72 hours to fly from the Americas or Europe to Grenada. So we cool. No, but then this is why I'm saying the media need to step up and play its role. Inform us, prepare us that there is a new norm so we behave differently. And that's the role. You don't need the politicians to tell you to do that. This is something we should do naturally. Stop this business of trying to drag everybody down. Look, this is new. In Grenada, we did not create this virus. We have nothing to do with it. But as you see, it has devastated our economy, and some of us have not worked. We're nearly bankrupt. It has changed our lives. So let's now accept the changes and learn to cope with it. Like I keep arguing all the time, that these banks are not banks, and they need to help the farmers. They are licensed deposit takers. Now I notice other people are saying similar things.
Yeah.
But hopefully we need to change. Not just the banks, the credit unions have to change to. Our people need to have access to money so they can start enterprises. We're not saying giving them money to run away, but we're saying if you use different methods, you can give them unsecured loans or loans with a lower level of risk. Not not the way they operate now. And how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by lobbying.
Stanley, so I guess no quarantine now for fully vaccinated people would mean an ease at the airport. I hope I get the minister this morning, Minister Modest, because at the airport, passengers coming to St. Patrick, man, and St. Mark, and even St. Andrew to an extent, man, these passengers have had to suffer because taxi drivers would leave them wait until everybody else is gone. Yes. And then they will. There's one person who said to me that when they got up to St. Patrick, and the taxi driver said to them, "Well, the fare is usually 120, but I'll take 100 US." Mm-hmm. Giving the person the impression that it was 120 US to come to St. Patrick, but they were going to give the person a discount and take 100, when in essence they were taking $260+, and it is only 120, no more than $150 to come to St. Patrick.
Well, again,
that is how dishonest they've been.
That yes, there are people who will take advantage of us at any given time. Again, if this information were fed to the media and the media know how to handle it, we will then be aware and not be taken for a ride. But I said the key thing is for us to accept that there is now a new norm, and let's act within that new norm. And if we do that, we'll have less difficulties. Let's not wait for when the job people start jumping up and telling us off, to prepare them from now how they're going to behave, how they're going to enjoy their carnival, how we're going to make money for the economy. There is a new norm. What is the new norm? Tell us about it now. Don't tell us 2 days before.
Goodbye, Stanley.
Thank you very much, mate.
Take care of yourself. And catch you again next Wednesday morning. Same time? Same time?
Yes. Yeah.
What are you going to do today anyway?
I'm not answering that. That sounds like a leading question. I'm off. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Bye. Stanley Charles, join us again next Wednesday morning? Yeah, next Wednesday morning. Good morning. Hi. Hello?
Hey, man.
Yeah, good morning.
That's a very interesting conversation y'all just ended there.
Oh, that one, Stanley.
The banks and the taxis and the media. The media. Yeah, I'm using this term loosely with these people. I had a conversation with a media personality today. People.
You're dropping. Don't know why.
Where I'm at.
Yeah, okay.
And it was very odd because in their hands, on their desks, are things called smart devices. And to hear how some of these words are put out is very disturbing. It's like these people never seen a smart device before in their life. So giving them information, and as Stanley said, if they know how to handle it, I'm not even sure if they know how to handle a phone. So how are they going to handle information? All this should have been out already. Everyone coming to Grenada should know exactly what the prices of a taxi ride is from any place to any place else. How is it possible that they don't know?
Well, I know. Hold on. Let me to be fair to everybody involved in this. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest problems here has to do with the dispatcher at the airport. The dispatcher at the airport should be giving these people a slip. When I worked at the airport, it was there. And I believe it still should be there. The security officer issued you with a slip which says where your destination is going to be if you're going to be going to St. Patrick. And it should also show the cost. And it should also show which taxi driver you went with. Whether these people collect these things or not, or whether they really issued to these people or not, is a different story. Because I mean, I witnessed one of these incidents right next to me, you know, and I'm like, okay, but how could he charge the guy this? But I ain't saying nothing.
But see that question right there? That's an easy answer. You know why? There's no posting anywhere. We're depending on human beings to do human things, which they will not do properly.
Correct.
99% of the time.
Correct.
So take it out of the human hand and make it foolproof. Post it on the airport walls when you come in. This is what the taxi. We're a small country. It's not like Trinidad, Jamaica. We're small. We should be able to put up every place you need to go, and here's the prices and the average fare to go to those places. Now, at times, some people may charge differently, depending on times of day, this and that, and you can all that could be in writing. We have apps now. We have to have a tourist app which actually has this information on there. So when I want to come to Grenada, all I have to do is tap into Grenada Tourism, and I can see, okay, taxi fares are this, the buses run between this hours and this hours. You understand what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to like hurt my head coming here.
But the thing about it, you create these apps and you post these things, and the thing about it is still, do people read?
See that, my brother, we're a Christian nation. You know what the minimum requirement of a Christian is to do? Say it. It's not to make the horse drink it. I don't have to give you the app. It's there. If you don't want to use it, that's not on me. You have to remember due diligence. You have to do your research when you go into a new country. It's not to the country to do the research for you. We already did it and posted. What more you want us to do? Have a human there giving it to you? That's a step above and beyond. If we do, that's great, but that's unrealistic. The realistic thing is I'll do my research, figure out where I'm going, figure out what the requirements is to get there, how to traverse there safely, and move. But that information is not posted anywhere.
Yeah. But no, hold on. A taxi driver just sent this to me and said, Andre, there's a posting at the airport. People don't read it.
Where in the airport?
I don't know.
I've been in the airport.
The person, it means, hold on. Saisha, the person is listening and they would have heard the question, where in the airport? So before we end this conversation, I'm sure they will send me a message saying, where in the airport exactly is this located?
I would love to know that. But I would suggest to the person, wherever it is, there needs to be more of it posted throughout the airport so we can see it readily in front of us, not in some inconspicuous place where I have to go search for it. Again, post things where people could see it. Like, okay, I'll give you an idea. When you leave Scarborough Road or Street or whatever that road is called, going down to Grenville, where you can go to Granatang or you can go back to Salisbury. Right.
Depending where you're coming from, yeah, Salisbury Road.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know if you leave Grenville and going up or coming down, you can't see the sign that says Grenville this way, town, St. George's the other way?
The sign is posted in the wrong location.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Yes, we have a sign, but unless you're a visionary, you're not going to go behind a tree to read a sign. That's not where a sign should be. So, again, I commend the person saying that there is a sign there, but we need to have more signs, obviously, because they're not seeing it. And in terms of the bank, brother, we need to have a long conversation about this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the bank. Don't worry. But I want to stick on this too because the person did indicate that yes, it is posted at the airport, but they're saying again after a long flight, one just may just want to get home. That is correct too, and people are taking advantage of that situation. But they're agreeing that there may be a problem, and that is something that you really need to work to. The other thing though too is, and Saisha, this is something I want this person who's listening to advise us on. If there is no quarantine for people now who are fully vaccinated, and that is going to be from Monday, right?
Right.
From Monday. For persons who are fully vaccinated, there's going to be no quarantine. Does that mean that if I have someone who is coming in after Monday at the airport, what do I do? Do I have to apply to the airport, or can I just go on down to the airport and pick them up? Because remember, there's no quarantine for that person because the person is fully vaccinated.
Then you're just touching on another one of the issues that is pertinent to this conversation. And again, in terms of signage, there's no clarity of anything here. Everything is like fishing. You got to figure it out. We need to have these things clear. Clear postings, clear signage, clear wordings. Here's what's needed. Here's what's required. Here's how you can do it. If we're in Grenada, we're Grenadians, and we don't even know how to go to the airport. Think about that. Imagine a foreigner. I mean, we're from here. We know the country, and we have no idea this morning about how to go to an airport. and a new protocol just came out. You think that would be addressed in the protocol? Yes, now Grenadians can go pick up their loved ones or family or friends or whoever at the airport because the protocol has changed. But there is no wording. So you thinking it's the same thing. It might actually be changed. And for 2 months, your loved one's coming in and they have to pay a taxi fare when they could have just called you. We can't keep allowing these things. And this is not accident. And I must say this, we have become mentally lazy, Andre. We're not physically lazy. We're tough as hell. But mentally, we have become lazy, Andre. We don't want to think about anything past 2 seconds. So to write anything down, to actually, it's like, okay, the last protocol that came out that said the curfew was till 9 o'clock. It actually said you could be on the beach 24 hours a day.
Yes.
Swimming and exercising. And
I figured that out. I'm like, how the hell did that happen?
I'm about to break your brain with something right now. So I just figured out, because of the posting, and this was from the medical industry, that swimming is not an exercise. Because it said swimming and exercising. I mean, swimming is a different activity from exercising.
Oh my God.
Do we understand how words work? How would you tell people to swim and exercise on a beach when swimming is the best exercise you could do? Exercising would have been sufficed. I'm thinking. But we need to be clear on these things. It's not just us reading this, Andre.
So this taxi driver who sent this has said to me that, yes, people can pick up their loved ones.
See? But where is that written?
Yeah. I'm going to try to see if I can get the minister to address the whole situation.
And in terms of the taxi guy that's listening, can you do me a favor? Just tell the taxi association, print up a bunch of these signs and put them all over the airport.
Well, he's hearing, so why don't you tell him, Saisha? Why are you giving me your job? He's hearing. Go tell him.
Brother, whoever you are, please post the signs where people can see them. So, for example, when the people are coming into the airport from the airplane, there should be a sign right on that door or right on the line where they're standing with the signs, with the prices of the taxis. When they're waiting to get an immigration check-in, when they go into luggage and everything with a little slip, there should be a sign right there stating the taxi prices. When they're walking out, as soon as they're walking out, the first thing they should see as they walk out that door is the prices of the taxi, even numbers of the taxis they can call. The taxi should have like a base where you have a single number they call, and anyone needs a taxi, you just call them and they just dispatch a taxi to you.
No, but they have the service. The service is available in terms of dispatching a taxi and all that.
Andre, I've never heard of this.
No, it's there. I'm telling you, I worked at the airport back in the...
Andre, I'm in the tourism industry right now.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Saisha, it is there. When you leave, when you come out, there's a security officer there who works as a dispatcher. That's his or her job at that time. And
but you don't know this.
No, it's there. The person is there. I'm telling you for a fact. What you find sometimes, Aisha, is that a person based on, you see, one of the problems that we have is that a lot of persons don't take enough pride in what they do. So they're like little lackluster when it comes to it. But when the person comes out of the doors, when those doors open and the person comes out, then you're supposed to hop to it and step to the person. Good day, ma'am. How you doing? Welcome to Grenada.
I'm glad you said that.
That is what's supposed to happen. But I'm telling you,
that's not what happens.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Almost 99% of the time.
I can't say 99. I can't say 99.
No, I'm talking about my experience. My experience personally, in terms of going to the airport as a passenger and as a working person, picking up people and dropping off people at the airport. My experience with that is that as soon as you walk through those doors, the first thing that happens is 2 taxi men attack you. Taxi?
Let me tell you. Hold on, Saisha. Hold on there. Let me just tell you this, right?
that's the experience.
It worked, and I'll tell you how it worked. Because with COVID time, from 2020 to now, right, it had to be working because all the taxi drivers had to stay in line and mind their business. As I'm saying, stay in line because you had to follow certain protocols. You could not walk up to anybody saying taxi, taxi, taxi. You could not do that. The dispatcher, hold on and listen to me. Listen to me. You listen to me, brother. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Didn't I give you the chance to talk? The dispatcher comes up to you, finds out, well, not finding out, because no one is allowed to come and pick up. Right. And that will be the case up until Monday. You'll not be allowed to come. So the dispatcher has to be there to dispatch the taxi next in line to the required location. So it works.
Right. Yeah,
right.
But you're talking about during COVID time. I was not only talking about COVID. I was talking about period. Now,
I told you that it worked before. I worked at the airport, so I can tell you that it worked.
Right. No, I'm saying before COVID, I came to the airport multiple times. I've had other people come to the airport multiple times, picked up people multiple times, and I've never seen that experience.
Well, you're blind.
I'm telling you.
You're blind.
I'm not blind. I'm telling you what I'm seeing. So what I'm telling you is, if that's the case now, then I accept that. That's an upgrade. That's awesome. I'm glad they done it. I'm glad COVID showed up to make them do it. If that's the case, it shouldn't have to. But if that's the program in place right now, then yes, great, work with it. However, we shouldn't have to wait till a pandemic to do logical thinking things. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't.
All kind of weird things to happen just to be able to do that.
And let me see what the taxi driver is saying again. Okay, the taxi driver is actually saying that's for the airport to do. I don't know what is for the airport to do because we spoke about so many different things. But I'm guessing
the signage.
Maybe the signage is for the airport to do.
Case,
but I'm saying, listen.
That's laziness.
What I'll say to people is that, yes, while the signage is of extreme importance, what I think needs to happen too is probably this is something that the airport and the Ministry for Tourism can work together with and do an app so that all these things can be explained.
But you missed that one. I don't think it's just the tourism and the airport. All of them need to put together because then they will have to find out what's going on with the taxis.
Well, yeah, because the association is only operating at the airport because the airport allows them to operate. So when I say the airport, I am including every single person down there.
Okay. All right.
Every single person down there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
The app probably should also give you all the do's and don'ts. And the app, every single thing. So if you're going to drop off somebody at the airport, you pull up the app and you see, okay, where can you stay? How long can you stay in that particular place? And all these things like that. Goodbye, Saisha. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself. When are we talking ganja?
Whenever you're ready. But again, before I leave, let's just engage just one little piece because, again, you need to have a conversation on this bank thing. Seriously, brother. This idea that businesses close average at 4 o'clock in the day and the banks are closed at 2, and the people who are working these businesses are the ones who keeping those people employed in those banks. Their job is to serve their customers, and they're in the banks till 6 o'clock, taking your money, using it, but you cannot use the bank past 2 o'clock. It makes no sense in the year 2021. I feel like I'm in the Stone Age. This makes no sense, Brethren.
You have access to your money. You have access to money. Have a card. Have a bank card. Oh, my God.
What card? You can't get your money in the... I talked to a man last night. He got 3 envelopes in his hands, and he's like, yo, I just came from the bank. I'm trying to deposit my money. Guess what it keeps doing? Gives me envelopes, but it won't take it. The machine won't work. Machines break. That's why I pay for a human being to serve my money. Not to pay them to drive in a nice car and have a nice air-conditioned office, but to serve me, the person paying you. We have this thing backwards here. When you pay people to serve you, they act like you are serving them, like you're doing them a favor. And I'm like, no, I'm not begging. I paid for something. I'm sorry to sound arrogant, but no, I'm not arrogant. I just paid for a service, and I would like that service rendered. I'm paying to be able to use that bank so my money makes more money. If I have to utilize working hours just to be able to deposit money, that means I'm losing money. The owners of businesses, I am one of them, to be able to deposit my money, I have to stop working hours just to do that. How does that make sense in 2021, Andre? And we're paying for this. And everyone just drone-likely, zombie-likely, just keeps accepting this and going, well, what we go do? There's a lot we can do. Demand more for your money. These people have to respond. It's your money. Or just tell them you're not going to bank with none of them. Threaten to take all your money out of all these banks and see how fast they start listening. see how fast they start listening and doing things. Again, the brother Stanley talked about loans. Most of the loans in Grenada are equivalent to predatory lending. The interest rates are astronomically high. Most people cannot pay back those loans. That's why they don't give loans. It's not because they can't give loans or they don't feel like the loans are bad loans or good loans. They know the people can't pay them back because the interest rates on them are too high. Most people here would love, almost everybody here pays their bill. They may not pay it on time. They may not pay when you need it to be paid, but they try their best to pay their bill. If you make it easy, if you make it easier, if you make it more accessible for them to pay their bills, they will. But when you give me an interest rate of 8, 9, 17%, how am I paying that? What is this? Loan sharking? Is this the mob?
Have a nice day. I'll talk to you another time about money.
Please.
Take care, sir, brother.
Oh, by the way, and that
Yeah.
money, that money conversation
Yeah.
will link into the banking industry because we need to have a ganja bank. Because again,
Have a good day, Saisha.
we should have one central banking for their money and call it the Green Bank. We go talk. Don't worry.
We go talk. Take care, brother. All right, good.
Stay, brother.
Yeah, one love. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5. Someone said to me, oh, it was said yesterday and they're taking till Monday so that they can inform and change all that wrong stuff like people being whatever. Now, let me tell you something. I understand and appreciate information given out on at a press conference and it's put out on a flyer. But how many people get the flyer? You know, how many people? Come on. I mean, I'm not even going to say anything because next thing I say something and you get vexed at me. But really and truly, you have to use all means. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you something. And this is straight up. I believe at these press conferences, especially those dealing with health, and to an extent, to a great extent too, those dealing with government business and things that government want people to know, I believe that all the main points, because the line minister at the press conference, that line minister, call I'm coming to you, that line minister doesn't wake up this morning and know that he or she has a press conference in an hour, 2 hours. That is known before. This is where the team comes together. What are the 4 or 5 most important things that the minister will be saying this morning? Right? These things are put together for, the engineers know that we need that clip with the minister saying that pronto. So as soon as that is finished, that the engineers should have that clip ready because it could be done. The audio clipping, same thing. It could be done. And whatever flyer that you were going to make should have been done and waiting. As soon as the minister says it, and the minister is finished with the conversation on the press conference, that hits the media, social media, and all other forms of media. That is what I believe should be happening. We shouldn't just sit down there and waiting for the ministers to say something and then all of us start to write. No, man. Come on, no, man. What happens to we living in Stonehead still? Oh, good morning.
Hey, it's me still. My phone's stuck. Just cut off my call.
Okay, well, let me cut you off now.
All right, give that.
Good. Right. He just wanted to be with me. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, so who you blaming for the bank issue? Well, no, he talking. No, don't really. I will discuss that with him one of these days. Media people are at the press conferences, but most of the time, media people, they do not necessarily want what you want in the news. And that's a fact. They have their own agendas. All media houses have their own agendas. So it could be staring them smack in the face, and they don't care about that. That is one of the things that we have to understand. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of Mr. Charles, I thought he made some very good salient point today. Some I didn't agree, but I think a lot of it I agree. That of development. In terms of Dr. Mitchell being able to sell himself and cause the NMP to be way it is quite true. I said it before, if there was no Dr. Mitchell in NMP, NMP would have been a dead party by now. We would not have heard about it. They'd have been in a worse position to me. So some people say Dr. Mitchell hijacked the party. I totally believe that Dr. Mitchell came into the NMP or take over the NMP at the right time. Just like how Gary came into Grenada at the right time when the people, the agricultural workers and road workers, was sort of sidelined and came in and fight for the agricultural workers to get recognition at the right time. I think that was the right time Gary came in. But he did not stay faithful to that part of his time. And that's what happened. Dr. Mitchell is there now. And yes, there is a lot of opposition against Dr. Mitchell now. But I think Dr. Mitchell is still doing a good job. I don't always agree with everything he does. But I think he's doing a good job to staple Grenada to some extent, to staple NMP. But yes, the opposition in this year move up and down, up and down. I am not in a position to say no that they're in any serious way. The young man, I think he has potential for a leader. But I've seen a lot of ducking in him already. For instance, he was on Friday, Monday night onto the headlines, to the point. And I personally asked him, I said, based on the results of your convention, it appears that some are not satisfied and are disgruntled. And he admits that there was some disgruntlement. He admits that there was some problem with one of the constituency. He admits, but the thing is, he's saying that he is not responsible for that because he was just a participant in the race. But if you listen to other personnel speak, it tells you that inside of the NDC right now, there is heartfelt displease with certain high-ranking person. For instance, Mr. Glenn Noel made it officially clear that he was beaten upon too much and that he felt defeated, and he knew that if he contested, he could have won everybody, but he failed to take a back seat because of how he was treated. The gentleman, Mr. Telesford, openly said again that he was asked to take a back seat or to stay back, and Mr. Deacon win. So in other words, it was like if you sell Mr. Deacon to the others and ask the others to refrain. Mr. Terry Forrester said that he knew he could have win. He knew he could not have win, but he went into the race. But before that, he still said that he was the man with the most experience in the race. And he said that he gained the experience from NMP. So there seems to be some shaking around there. I think that the gentleman, if he remains honest to the party, could make a good leader. But I believe, as I see it now and what we're hearing, little hits that the news bringing up, it appears that all is not sitting well with the hierarchies of the party, or some of the hierarchies of the party. And that, I think, could bring some bad blood between now and that time. I'm not showing any lump or slump on the other party. Then we hear a little bit about TGM, I think the name TGM. And TGM find himself in some hot waters. 4 to 5 persons resign around the same time. Sends a bad picture.
Bad picture to who?
Huh?
To who?
To the organization.
And are you worried?
I'm worried because because they seem to be taking Grenadians, trying to trick around Grenadians. Because if you tell people that you good alternative and what, and all the persons that leave are living under the same heading, that things are moving too slow, that things is not in place. It tells you that there's a lot of tomfoolery around. People coming to people in frontline politics, but they're tomfooling people. There's tomfoolery around. If you listen to the grounds of all the persons that those Jenny Rapier, the next lady, Eugene Porciu, and Mr. Bristol, they all singing almost the same song. For that matter, the Mr. Antoine say that he cannot disclose, or he wouldn't disclose what was discussed with him by Mr. Porciu, but he thinks Mr. Porciu was right. So where are you sending me? Up, down, up, down. Come on, I don't think we serious about really rebuilding this country. I don't think so. I agree that the NMP have work to do still. They can't just sit down there and say they're in the driver's seat. I agree with what Mr. Wickham said. I listened to Mr. Wickham. I listened to Callister. And in my opinion, Callister was trying to get her message across to Mr. Wickham.
But whose message do you want her to try to get across?
Well, yeah, but if you're interviewing a man, you have to listen to what the man is saying. And he was, with her scientific backing for what she's saying.
Well, he did tell her. He did what he had to do, but you can't.
Where is her?
But you can't stop her. I mean, whereas I'll tell you honestly here, Kiffer, you can't stop her. I was like, okay, Callister, don't even try that. I think Peter Wickham could handle you, and he did handle her. You go ahead and do. It's just, Clifford. I cannot tell her not to ask a question. She cannot tell me not to ask a question either.
I agree.
We may not necessarily like the way she did it, but Wickham was smart enough to be able to handle her. As a matter of fact, what happened there when she asked the question, when she spoke about the issue, the answer he gave her was a slap in the face. He said to her, "Shut up, girl, you don't even know what you're talking about." That's what he said. In a nice way. It was the best way to do so and slap her in the face. Come on. Please.
I don't know.
Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm worried to the extent that the political parties are keep taking Grenadians for a ride.
That ain't nothing.
It is said now that
the ride soon done.
Mr. Deacon said that there is still room for Mr. Nazimbok. When he was asked about Mr. Nazimbok, he said he was not aware of Mr. Nazimbok's position, but there is room for him. I mean, where are you going with that? There's room for him.
Oh, you mean if there's room, there's room. If there's room, there's room. But Clifford, let me tell you something, yeah? It just shows, I mean, and this one is a straight one here. If he did not know about Nazim Burke, it just shows how his political infancy. Do you understand? And I don't want to say things. I don't want to say things about Mr. Mitchell at this particular point in time, because I don't want the jackals to be coming at me, not just yet. I know when I want them to focus on me, I want them to focus on me yet. So I wouldn't say anything about Mr. Mitchell. But there's so much to say about the young man. There's so much to say. There's so much that people don't know. You know, and that is the thing, is the unknown factor. And are you prepared to deal with the unknown factor? That is what is most important. And I want to leave something with you, Clifford, because I want you to get off now, but I want to give you something to go with. When you listen to Mighty Sparrow and he's singing age is just a number. All of us like the song, correct?
Yes.
Age is just a number.
We like the
However,
song. But the song could be used in different contexts.
yeah, but however, when it comes to Keith Mitchell, he old. But we singing the same song, age is just a number. Stop right there. Let's leave that one on the side.
Okay.
Here's another one for you and for all, and Sanjay. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and he raised it. I'm speaking about Carl Cateney, and I'm going to steal it from him. Here's what he said, which was so very interesting. Now, there are a group of people going around saying that NNP does not believe in young people.
That's a fact.
All right, but hold on. NNP does not believe in young people. It is NDC that believes in young people. Right, so let's stop right there. Blam, we stop right there. And this is the first time that the NDC has selected someone who is under the age of 50 to run their party. That's the first time. Secondly, when Devon Richer, Carl Caton, and a number of other youngsters, and when you look today and you see Kate Lewis, Delma Thomas, Emmeline Pierre, Kendra Maturin Stewart, when you look today and you see people like Nolan Cox, and you see people like Simon Steele. Now tell me, aren't these all young people?
Well, that's what I said from the beginning. That's a failure. I won't go with that.
You understand? So we have to be very, very careful of this narrative that is being pushed. Because when all these people like Richer and Carl Caton and others vied for office, they were going up against old people like Tillman Thomas. You understand? So we have to be careful where, and I'm using old based on how they're using it. I'm using it just like them. We have to be careful of what we are saying because we have not yet seen the slate which will be put forward by the National Democratic Congress for elections. We don't know. We really don't know at this particular point in time. Is it a situation that you're going to have 14 persons under the age of 45? That's what you're going to have? Okay, fine. By all means, go ahead.
They cannot dictate that they cannot prove that to me. For instance, since in the days of Gary, you had one of the first youngest person as a minister in the government, Winston White, at the age of 25, was sitting in the parliament. We had Franklin Donald. So they can't fix that to me. We have been having young people in frontline politics long before. Just to close off, I listened to Sheldon Scott last night, and I want to tell you, convey to you, because I heard it through your station, he was extra very good. He gave a good synopsis of the state of the economic status and spoke about the oil, how the bargain for oil, the rate of oil in the world now and whatnot. And I thought that was a very good program. I thought you should get some clippage from it for your news. I thought it was very good. I want to convey that.
You want a job as a news director, Clifford?
Huh?
You want a job to work in the newsroom?
No, sir.
Then don't tell me what I have in my news.
I thought you should.
Don't tell me what you think. If you don't want a job here, then don't tell me what to think.
No, I have a right to think.
Don't tell me, I said. I didn't tell you not to think. I said don't tell me.
Well, I have a right to tell you.
No, you have a right to tell me.
If you don't want to take it, you don't take it.
Well, I ain't taking it.
You. Yeah?
I ain't taking it.
Well, that's why I say you have a right not to take it, but I have a right to tell you. And the last thing is, Have you made contact with the agriculture for tomorrow?
Say that again?
Have you been making contact or reminding the Minister of Agriculture for the program tomorrow?
I do have to remind him. It's not my job to remind him. He had to remember.
Okay. Well, I will hope that he on tomorrow. And I will hope that you open the lines for callers.
You hope so?
I will hope that.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Have a nice day.
Same to you.
Good. It's real. It's 91.9, 91.5, www.drefmgrenada.com. It has come to an end. Stay with us.
Informative, entertaining, and first. Every hour on the hour.
This is the latest news update produced by Triple N. Details when we get back.
M&M Hardware Limited, Hope St. Andrew and Dusty Highway St. George. Shop conveniently for all your building materials including plumbing, electrical, lumber, cement, steel and much more. We manufacture roofing sheets available in 11 colors, aluminum windows, doors, insect screens and hurricane shutters. Installation services are available for all our manufactured products. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. M&M Hardware Limited. Come on in and experience our affordable prices or call us 444-6757 or 440-6757 Dusty Highway. Email us at info@mahonhardware.com or mnmdusty@mahonhardware.com. M&M Hardware, foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Welcome back. Locally, at the post-cabinet press briefing held on Tuesday, November 9th, the chairman of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Barry Collymore, reminded that the COVID-19 virus is among us and is no longer classed as an imported virus. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago committed to fighting climate change. Kimberly D'Souza tells us more.
While Prime Minister Dr.